Can I beat Skyrim only using the Wabbajack? Yes. End of video. I'm a Khajiit because when the Wabbajack runs out of charge, I just use my fists. You can go ahead and check out my fists only Skyrim video after you're done watching this video. Since escaping Helgen isn't that interesting, I'm gonna skip all of that and go to when I got the Wabbajack. So I go to the Drip Lord Sheogorath and I talk to him for a little bit. He gives me 3 little challenges to do with the Wabbajack, so I do them. The quest is pretty fun in my opinion. It's definitely more fun than going into some boring ass dwarven ruin. I just fucking hate going into dwarven ruins. They're just so boring to me. I mean, they look cool, but I just don't like being in them. So anyways, I get back to Sheogorath and he lets me keep the Wabbajack, which is probably my favorite weapon in the game just because of its unpredictability. I like it when it turns people into a sweet roll. Going through Bleak Falls Barrow isn't too interesting, so here's some people I killed there using the Wabbajack. I head back to the court wizard Farengar and I give him the dragon stone that I got from Bleak Falls Barrow. Then Jarl Balgruuf wants me to kill a dragon, so I go to the dragon and I shoot it with the Wabbajack a couple of times until it runs out of charge, so I start fisting it. When I finish fisting the dragon, I suck the soul out of it. I later go back to the Jarl and I told him that I killed the dragon, so now I'm like a big deal. And he tells me to talk to some old men. He also gave me a follower, Lydia, but I already had Fanda as my follower, and I ain't gonna ditch my homie for some girl, you know what I'm saying? Well, I go up a fuck ton of stairs on some big ass mountain to talk to these old guys, and they want me to bring them a horn. I go through a little dungeon to get this horn that they want, and somebody already took the damn horn. Then they left a note. The note says to meet up with them in Riverwood. So I go to Riverwood and I meet Belle Delphine. She leads me into a room inside of the inn and takes me into a basement. She gives me the horn and wants to kill a dragon with me. So I go back to the old guys and I give them the horn that they wanted, and they thank me by shouting at me in dragon language. So I go back with Belle Delphine and we go to kill this dragon. After a bit, we kill it and I suck the soul out of the dragon. We head back to Riverwood and she wants me to go to a party in the Thalmor embassy and get some of the Thalmor secret files because she thinks that the Thalmor have something to do with the dragons coming back. I sneak my way into the Thalmor embassy and I fight a couple of people in there. I free some dude they had shackled to a wall and I find out that they're looking for some guy named Esbern. I escape the embassy and then I go back to Belle Delphine and I tell her that the Thalmor don't know shit about dragons and that they're looking for some dude named Esbern. Belle Delphine tells me to go find Esbern, so I go looking for him and I find him in the Ratway under Riften and I talk to him for a bit and he wants me to go take him back to Riverwood so he could talk to Belle Delphine. I take Esbern to Riverwood and his nerdy ass starts talking about the dragon lore or some shit like that with Belle Delphine. He says that we need to go to Alduin's Wall because it can help us defeat Alduin or something. So we go to Alduin's Wall, which, surprise surprise, is a wall about Alduin. He checks out the wall for a bit and then he talks about a shout that can knock a dragon out of the air. I don't know the shout, so I go back to the old guys on the big ass mountain and I ask them if they know it. They don't know the shout, but they told me to talk to their master, which is on the highest point of the big ass mountain they live on. So I go up the mountain to talk to their master, and to my surprise he's a fucking dragon. I talk to him for a little bit and he teaches me to spit bars in dragon language, which literally makes me breathe fire. And he tells me to get an Elder Scroll so I can learn the dragon run shout from the people who created it. So I go through some boring ass dwarven ruin and I press some buttons and boom, I get the Elder Scroll that I need. I go back to the top of the mountain and I read the Elder Scroll, which lets me see back in time when the creators of the dragon run shout were using it on Alduin in a pretty intense battle. So I learned the dragon run shout after watching them for a little bit, and as soon as I stop looking at the Elder Scroll, Alduin comes out of nowhere like his name is Randy Orton, and then, you know, I gotta fight his ass. So I use the dragon run shout on him, which brings him down to the ground, and I start using the Wabbajack on him. Then it fucking runs out of charge. So I start fisting him. I defeat him, but like not really because the pussy flew away. Then I go talk to Parthenax, which was just watching, and he tells me to trap a dragon in Whiterun. So I go to Whiterun and the Jarls look at me like I'm a dumbass because it sounds stupid to try and trap a dragon inside of his palace, but after some convincing statements I get him to let me trap a dragon inside of his crib. But only if the civil war stops for a little bit. So I talk to Ulfric Stormcloak and I tell him please stop fighting the ops for a little bit because the world might end right now, and he listened. Then I have to go talk to General Tullius to stop beefing with Ulfric, and he agreed too. But to make it official, we went to the big ass mountain with the old guys and we had the truce up there. Truce was to stop fighting until the dragons were gone. So I go back to Whiterun and we wake up the Jarl and I tell him that the Stormcloaks and the Imperials are gonna stop beefing for a little bit. So I go into the part of the palace where I'm gonna trap this dragon, and I go to the edge and I call for his name. This motherfucker wants me to keep his name out of his mouth, so he finna come and try and do something. And he did do something. Some poor guard was chilling on the edge, and dragon just came down and killed him. So I use the dragon wrench shell to get him on the ground, and then we trap him. I talked to him for a little bit, and then I asked him to take me to Alduin, and he said that he will take me only if the guards release him. So I tell the guards to release the dragon, and I climb on his back, and he takes me to Skuldolphin. At Skuldolphin, I find the portal to Sovngarde, and there's a dragon priest chilling there. Dragon priests aren't that easy to kill, but because I have the Wabbajack, I just kill them instantly. And I go into Sovngarde, and I meet up with some people there, and we fight Alduin, but I don't want to ruin the final battle with my voice, so I'm just gonna shut up.